Hey friends, today we're going to talk about the cabinet work that I'm doing on the Silvertone 6551, which is also known as a 101.620-1. Let me show you where I am and what we're going to do. Be right back. Okay, so this is a portable radio. It was an AC/DC unit. The one that I had, someone had removed all the battery components. And I did a restore on this a while back, and I'll show you the chassis after we get the cabinet done. But what I've done is I've stripped off all the Tolex on this thing. And you can see it's old, it's fragile, you can see through it, it's deteriorated, and it's really nothing more than a fabric. It's kind of like a burlap with shellac on it. This case has a loop antenna all around it. You can see here they've got it taped. And it also included this piece of, I guess, leatherette is what you would call it, on the bottom, which I'm going to preserve. I'm not going to remove that. I think that'll be a cool bottom to this thing. I'll just use some Armor All on it and get it cleaned up, make sure it's secure correctly, and it runs along the bottom here. And there it is on the bottom. So I think it'll clean up nicely. So just on this loop antenna, it actually protrudes through the wall here, and this is where you connect it to the tuning cap. So I've got this thing pretty much stripped. I've got all the glue off of it, and the fabric that I'm going to use to cover it is right here. So this is a fairly thick oatmeal color fabric, and I think this will be a suitable replacement for this. And I think it's going to look really good. I'm going to use contact cement on the case, and the way that you do this one is there's a piece that goes here all the way up to this edge right here, and then the sides have a separate piece that overlap. There's a little flap here that overlap and tuck around here. Very, very simple. So that'll be an easy cover, not much trimming. It has this metal top here, which I'm going to polish. I do have some scuffing and roughing there. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm not going to paint this thing. That would just ruin it. I'm going to leave that and see if I can at least get some of the rust off of there. But that's the story. And then this radio is supposed to have a back to it. Let me show you what I mean. So you'll see here there's leather straps, and there's supposed to be a back with snaps that you can flip out. I'm going to make a piece out of some masonite and cover that as well. And then I'll have a back to the radio. And then of course the last part of this radio that I'll show you is the speaker grill. And I don't see any reason to change that. I think it looks fine. Again, I'm going to try to polish this metal up the best I can. But I'm going to leave that speaker grill because it's nice, and I think it'll match really nice with the oatmeal here. So it's kind of like an ox blood compared to the oatmeal fabric. So that's where we are. I'll come back and show you what that looks like once I get started. Okay, so we have our first piece of fabric installed. What I did was I took the piece of fabric outside and I gave it a good spray with this 3M Super 77 multi-purpose spray adhesive. I let it set about 30 seconds to a minute, and then I carefully applied it to this front. Now again, the way this thing works is there's a piece that goes here, wraps all the way around to the top, and then there's two pieces that go on the side here. So that's basically all it is. I have to be careful when I trim here because I have the antenna. I don't want to slice that. And same thing on this. Oops, same thing on this side here. So I'll have to make a piece and fit on here. And you can see I've taped off the leatherette on the bottom. I did the same thing on the front, but I've now removed it. And you can see it has a nice clean line. So let's see what it'll look like with the hardware in place. So this will end up going right about here. A little bit of give and take there. And this will end up looking something like this. Just like that. And you can see it looks pretty good. It looks better than this ratty old brown stuff. So so we're going to continue, and we'll get everything on the sides completed. And then I'm going to have to make that back panel that I showed you and also cover that as well. And I also discovered that on the back panel piece that I need to make, I need to have two little pins sticking down. because I did find holes. There's one right there, and there's one on this side, which I'm not going to uncover. So basically that panel will slip into the holes and then fold up, and then there's a piece of leather strap here that holds it in place. So I'll do that part last. And that's pretty much it for this. So I'll continue working on these side pieces. I'm going to have to trim the other side to make it as short as this one. I have a lot more material on this side, so I'll just trim this down to make it even, so I don't have uneven bumps on this thing. I'll come back. Alright, just an update. I've got one side done here, and you see I've got it all trimmed, and this leatherette here is still intact, and I think that looks pretty damn good. So we're gonna forge ahead, and we're going to work on the other side, which is right here. So that's going to be next up. You know, when I'm trimming this, I'm being careful not to score across this antenna. That would be a big problem. So let me get this side going, and I'll come back. Okay, we've got the whole thing covered. Here's the side I just did. Everything's trimmed. I still need to clean up these frayed ends here. I think I'll use like a lighter just to kind of melt those in. And this side's good. We've got everything in the back, and now I just need to create the cover that goes in the back here. What I'm going to do now is polish up this little bezel best I can. And I'm going to put that back on here, and we're going to start mounting the hardware. And we'll see what it looks like. I think it looks pretty good. Not bad. I'll come back when all the hardware is mounted. Be back. Okay, we've got all the grills on, the handle, all that stuff. I haven't put the radio in there yet. I'm going to do that now. And then all that's going to be left to do is build that back panel, and that'll be in in one of my next videos. So let me put the radio inside, and I'll show you what it looks like, and we'll fire her up, see if she works. I'll be back. Okay, here we are. We have the radio in the case. There we go. So it looks like we've got a Silvertone 7970, I think it is, all restored and ready to go. I'm not going to do anything with this. This is a little bit of rust, and I would have to chrome plate this entire thing. Let me turn the volume down here. Turn it off. So I'm not gonna do that at this point. I'd rather keep that part rustic and not have to worry about that, because I'm not going to spray paint it silver. That would just make it look like crap. So the next step is working on the back. That's what the back looks like right now. And that cover goes over here real nice, and I'll make sure I leave some vent holes here. I imagine the original cover did have a vent hole there for those tubes. And this is where the batteries would normally go, and the cord gets tucked in there when you're not using it. So that's it for this one. Maybe someday I'll show you what it looks like when it's all finished in the back. That's it for today. See you guys next time.